we did actually one of the songs which was really good and big for us was called Fundi wa Mbao. It was really good. Nimependwa na fundi wa mbao, je wewe umependwa. Nimependwa na fundi wa mbao, je wewe umesamehewa. Shida mingi mimi niliona. Nice. Wacha. But somehow my eyes caught my wife.
Mchungaji alikula kondo.
Mbawasho kusema hiyo. Leo alikuwa anangoja hiyo.
The love you give me I just can't deny. Yeah. No longer blinded, I can see.
Hello everybody, welcome to the Beloved channel. I am your host Lois and I'm back again with my co-host.
And I'm James Kiri, and today in the studio we have some wonderful special guests. I want to say that I've known this guy for a very, very long time. Practically I've known him all my life, and today he's here with his wonderful wife. And before I start, I'm just going to tell you guys, he's my brother. And many times, many times, all the time people see me and tell me, Jimmy, you are so handsome and you are so smart. You must be the firstborn. And guys, today I want to tell you, I'm not the firstborn. Even though I am so handsome. I'm sorry guys, I'm not the firstborn. I actually have a bigger brother, and today we have him in the studio and he's here with his wonderful wife. So without further ado, I'm gonna let them introduce themselves. Karibuni sana.
And I have to say that we've been really waiting for you guys to come and join us. And guys, I know some of you have watched our previous videos and we always talk about Samu. Even the last one we did with our brother, with Michael, we talked about Samu. There was another one you and I we talked about Samu. And people have been asking, who is this Samu? Who is this Samu? None other than our brother here. No broken hearts, no more broken, no more broken.
Jody giving Esther, but she fed up. Searching for a king to hold it down. All this time you been waiting your turn. They can never take what's yours.
And I know, like, it's the myth, the legend, the extraordinary man with this beautiful partner. Yes. Yeah, I've been getting DMs, people asking this Samu. Like, I've been watching the videos and you'll be saying Samu did this, Samu did. I'm here, guys.
So even though they don't know who you are, they still DM you to say, are you Samu?
They tried a lot of Samus and they found me. So here I am, man, with my beautiful wife. Whom I'm going to let introduce herself. But yes, my name is Samuel Njuguna Gidiomi. I love the Lord. Yes, and here's my partner, my beautiful wife, and she has something to say.
Hello, my name is Irene Njuguna. I love the Lord, and I'm a mom to 3 beautiful kids.
I'm a father to 3 beautiful kids too.
So you have 6 kids in total. You have the same 3.
Yes. So we're here to tell our testimony, what God has done in our life, has been doing in our lives, and we really wanted to share with everyone about this. This started with a dream, and our good friend Lois Kiri called my wife because I was sleeping, and she had a dream, and this dream was very significant to us, and we really wanted to share it with you guys. We didn't take the dream lightly at all, because she's a dreamer. God has blessed her with that gift, and most of the dreams that she has shared with us, with our family members, with friends, have come true and have come to pass. So this one was not going to be ignored at all. And actually, most of our dreams, we don't ignore them at all. So we always pray about it. So before even I continue with our testimony, I will let her explain or tell the dream, because she's the one who had the dream, and we'll have a better understanding.
So in the dream, I was with Samu, and I was holding my daughter. He was walking behind me. We were actually, in the dream, we were in Florida, and we were walking on a path where there were a lot of people all around. It was more like a park. And I was holding my daughter. My son was behind him. And I looked back and I asked him, where is my son? And he told me, oh, he's just right behind me. So I went and I grabbed him. I put him on my back. So I'm holding my daughter in the front, and I'm also carrying my son in the front. And he told me, let me just run off and catch up with my son, because his son was with us as well. So he ran off to catch up with the son. And there was a red semi-truck that had overturned. When the son was actually passing the truck, the semi-truck, and it was on the sidewalk. So as soon as the son got where the truck was, he was about to go around it, but before he went around it, it fell over him. And we were watching the whole thing. We started crying and screaming and wailing. He ran. Miraculously, the truck came, I don't know who actually lifted up. He picked up his son, and we were both crying, and I asked him, are you gonna call 911? And he told me, no, it's too late. So I walked off and I was crying. I found another bridge. There was another child under the bridge. There was water. There was another child, same age as our firstborns, who are 4 years old. I couldn't tell if it was a boy or girl. However, this child was wearing a red jacket. So I woke up and I was so scared. I knew there was something that God was telling me in regards to this dream, and I called my sister. I was like, you know what, let me not just ignore the dream, because I was so scared. I actually woke up and started crying. And remember, when I called you that morning, I didn't even say much. I just told her, just make sure, don't let your son run off the road. Make sure you watch him. Yeah. And she was just asking me, why are you saying that? And I told her, I had a dream. Just make sure your kids, you're watching your children, they're not going, they're not running off the road. Yeah. So how did you feel when I told you that? Like, what came in your mind at that point?
Well, so many things came on my mind, because actually, just to take you back, I think either weeks before that, my husband had a dream too that something had happened to our son.
Really?
I don't know if you recall that. But yeah, so something had happened. So when you told me that, it brought so many feelings and emotions. Mm-hmm. And I remember when actually sitting in the living room, you were not asleep. Yeah, and I told you, and I started crying, and then you told me nothing will happen to him. So I knew that God was really telling us something about this. So we took it to, we took it seriously. Yeah, we took it seriously and started praying about it. But I really wanted to know exactly what you
and dreamt. I didn't explain at that moment. I was so scared. I just, me speaking about the dream at that point, I couldn't I couldn't bring myself to explain that dream, because I was already so scared. And what I had seen was so bad. It was, gosh, it was such a bad dream. I didn't even want to talk about it. And you know what happened? After I called you, I was like, man, why did I do that? Now I have already scared you, because I could hear from the voice of from the sound of your voice that I put fear in you, and that's not what I intended to do. Right. So I called Mommy, and I told her the dream, and I told her, please, Mommy, pray for Irene, because I think I shouldn't have shared the dream with her. But Mommy was like, no, it's good that you told her, so that they can pray. And I asked her, do you think it's good if I explain what happened? And she said, just make sure, don't call her, tell her in person. It would be
Oh.
best if you just tell her in person. And then that day when I came over to your
And you
house,
told
and by God's grace, you had just came from work, and I was able to tell both of you about the dream.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Could you tell us why? Could you explain to the people watching some why? Because she said in the dream you dreamt they were in Florida, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
this was happening in Florida.
So why did that shock you guys about the dream being in Florida?
Because I believe that was the time Christmas was almost going to happen, and we had planned our vacation to go to Florida, Orlando. You said Orlando, right? Or you
Yeah.
said Florida?
I didn't even say Orlando. I said Florida.
We were planning to go to Florida.
Yeah.
It was already planned, like nothing was going to change. And so that was like, oh, okay. I remember when my wife told me about the dream, I was so convicted, like I was like, nothing's going to happen, nothing. But I know I didn't share it with you guys, but as time went on, as we got closer, fear started creeping in.
Really?
Yeah, fear started creeping in. But when we were told, I was just like, no, nothing's good. But later on,
But even
just
when I
fear.
told you guys, like when I told you both of you at the same time, you're like, well, it's good that you shared, but I believe nothing's gonna happen.
Yeah.
And actually that gave me peace because I felt like you were so confident.
Yeah.
You know, your faith was up here. There
Yeah.
was nothing going to happen.
Yeah.
But so later on, as you got closer, you got scared.
Yeah, the fear just, a little bit of fear started creeping in, but it kind of, just disappeared at some point. There was no fear. We were praying, man. When we were leaving, like we prayed, we kept talking about it, and it got to a point where just there was no fear.
And we actually forgot about
and
it.
we forgot about it. Like we
That's
actually
good.
100% forgot about it.
Yeah.
So we weren't driving like, oh, we need to be careful, No, we
forgot.
just forgot about it. We went on our
good.
merry way.
Yeah.
So tell us, so now you're in Florida. Can you take us
Yes.
from there? Now you're in Florida.
Before we go to Florida, so when Lois was giving us the dream, I actually didn't think of our daughter when she mentioned the
I saw the other child floating
Yes.
with the red jacket.
I didn't think of our daughter, but my husband remembered because our daughter loved the jacket, a
Yeah,
red
red
jacket.
jacket.
She was wearing the whole
Loved
time. Like
it.
every day, she would wake up and say, "I want to wear the red jacket." So that's what it linked the part of the daughter. I mean, our daughter and the child floating. So like, oh, that could be,
And we were like, so just what are the distinctions of the dream? Like something with when we remembered about the red jacket, which my daughter loved, it brought some fear. It's like, oh, she loves it. That's favorite, So, but God was good. God was good. We drove to Orlando, Florida. It was Christmas. It was Christmas, right?
right.
5-day vacation. We're so happy to be there. I'm sorry you guys missed. But anyway, so we got there. Just to answer your question, Jimmy. We got there. We had a good time. So they had a pool, right? It's Florida. Most houses have pools. So I remember we were outside, right? So we were sitting there. No, I was standing. I was talking to Eve, my sister, her sister. And it was just me and Eve. And then the pool. So, the pool is rectangle, right? And then at the end is like a jacuzzi. It's also like it's more of like a square. And my kids were sitting there. So there was my son, Nathan, my daughter Lela, and our cousin. So they were sitting on the pool where the jacuzzi was. And I'm looking at them. I'm talking to Eve. I remember my wife came and talked to me. What did you tell me?
I told you, make sure you don't take your eyes off the kids. Like, make sure you don't take your eyes off them.
And I was like, yeah, I'm not, because I was just looking at them. But you see, I'm talking to Eve for just a second. I'm looking. Anyway, so after a while, my son just woke up and left. So it was our cousin and my daughter. And then it was so crazy. I could see it all happen. So what happened, the cousin woke up, right? He woke up and started walking. So how the jacuzzi was, where he was stepping, there was those two stones, and in the middle, there's a space. So he just jumped, right? And then I looked away for a millisecond. My daughter wakes up and tries to walk. Now, my daughter is 4 years old now?
3.
3 years old now. Yes, 3 years old now.
Praise the Lord.
Praise the Lord. Yes. And so she's little, right? She can't, this is a big gap. It's something maybe this size. And she wakes up, I look at her. As I'm looking, she tries to jump.
But let me cut you off a little bit. Remember that time she was not 3. She was still 2.
And she was 2.
yeah, that was
Yeah, she was
last
2.
year.
Yeah,
Yeah, she was 2. So
Yeah,
she's
yeah,
even,
mountain. Yeah.
she's way younger.
Yeah.
So she's little. She can't jump.
And
You know
she
this.
was in her onesie.
And she was in her onesie,
So
which
it's
was
restricting
red.
her movement.
Yeah.
Right.
And it's red, right? Was it
It's
red?
Red pinkish.
Red
yes.
pinkish. It's a mixture of red and pink.
Yeah.
And she wakes up, tries to jump. She just goes down into the pool, like down. And her face was facing down the water, like she was facing down, and her hands. And it took me a millisecond, like I just jumped in. Actually, it was very deep. It was actually really deep. So, because the water was like here, right? So I jumped in, I just took her, and she got out of the water just crying and crying. And, you know, I was like, it's okay, it's okay. I believe I was in shock because I wasn't afraid, but I still believe, this is what I believe God had already prepared my heart. There was no fear because when I jumped in and took her out, I was even smiling, like I wasn't, come to think of it, I was smiling. I wasn't even like in panic mode, you know. So I took her out and we went there. My wife came, what happened? People didn't even know what was happening because it was just me and I believe other 2 of our friends and cousins were outside. So they saw they saw me jumping in. They didn't know why I was jumping in.
So let me ask you this: when she fell, did she drink the water? Did she?
Yes,
you know, she did?
yes. But it was because it was so fast. Like she went in because I'm looking. The reaction was instantaneous. I just jumped in, picked her up. You know, I just held her from here because she was facing this way. She was trying to float. I just picked her up. Yeah.
Just hearing that story
It just scares. Yeah,
because
it's
you know
scary.
kids,
Yeah.
they can't turn around once they
Yeah.
fall on their
Yeah.
face.
Yeah, and she doesn't know how to swim. So it was one crazy incident. And, you know, I went inside. Mom came, my mom, and auntie too. They were like, what is happening? And then that's when my wife came. I don't even know where you came from. I didn't see you, you know. And we were shocked. We were really shocked. But we were happy.
Yeah.
We were happy.
Yeah.
I was actually the one who was calming my wife down, like, she's fine, she's fine.
Yeah.
And she stopped crying, like she just stopped crying, you know.
Wow.
Yes. Yeah, so God is good. So we were happy about that. And I don't even think we thought about the dream
But
then.
we didn't think
We
about
didn't even
the
think
dream
about the dream.
until the next incident happened.
Yeah.
So
So
on
there's
this,
another incident.
there's
That's what you're
another
saying.
incident.
Yes.
There's another
It
It
incident.
wasn't the same day, but I think it was like 2 days later.
We had a photo shoot.
Yes.
So we
You
had
guys were there for like 5 days.
Right.
Yes, yes. So we stayed for a while, and now we're like, let's close the pool. So if
Yeah.
you guys are wondering like what happened, did you guys? They had things you could close the pool.
Oh, that's good.
So we
Yeah,
closed
you
it.
didn't want to take the
We
risk.
didn't want to take the risks, and she didn't even want to step out. She
Yeah.
was like,
Like out of the house.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. She was like,
Yeah.
no pool. You know,
Yeah.
even Nathan, our son, was like, okay, we're not gonna go. And it was kind of cold, so we weren't going to use the pool. So, well, the next day, well, not really the next day.
Like
I think
2 days
later,
later.
we had a photo shoot.
Yeah.
Usually, when every year we try to have this thing that we do, we go to Florida and we do a photo shoot with our family. Mostly when we're expecting a child. Yes.
So hint.
Hint.
If you see you going to Florida for photo shoots, you're expecting a child.
Yeah,
I'm not denying nor yes. So yeah, we had a photo shoot. So we went for the photo shoot. It was nice. It was tricky at first with the kids. You know, they didn't want to take the photo shoot. They were sleepy, but we had fun. We took the photo shoot. We had a good time.
Right.
In the end, the kids just wanted to take the photos and have fun. After the photo shoot, we started heading back to where we were staying in Orlando, basically home for us for that 5 days. And yeah, my wife can continue from there.
Yeah, so we were driving, and my husband was actually the one driving. I was at the back seat with my son, Kara, our youngest, and Nathan and Lela were in the front, well, the middle seat. Nathan was on the right side. So, and we were driving on the left side of the road. So as we were driving, I happened to see a truck on our right side, close to Nathan. And so he just came, and he wanted to come in on our side, and it's like he didn't see us, or I don't know what was happening with him. So
he was trying to change the lanes.
kind of, sort of.
Okay.
But I think he saw us, but he still wanted to go in. So we actually had to move from our lane to the...
I don't think he saw us because the way, sorry.
Okay.
I don't think he saw us because the way, as I was driving, I just saw this, I could see a black image, you can see on your side, called peripheral view. I could peripheral view. I could see him, and then I looked, and he kept on coming and coming.
Yeah, I screamed. Do you remember?
My wife screamed actually.
Because I thought he was gonna hit us. And
yeah.
So when I screamed, you went off the road.
Yeah, and he kept finally he saw us, and I was already on the median, and this was one of those medians in the middle is kind of there's a hole, so our SUV was kind of on an angle, sitting on an angle. So I just went straight and back on the road, and then when he noticed, he went on the right side, and then because we slowed down, everybody slowed down in the back,
right?
So he went in the front, and we pulled on the side of the road, there was almost an exit. And this was not on a highway. This was just on a US highway, just regular.
Yeah.
And I could actually see on the left, the guys in the back tried to kind of stop the guy with the black, it was the black truck.
Yeah.
It was one of those big trucks.
Oh, so it wasn't a semi-truck?
No, it wasn't a semi-truck.
Oh,
it was
like
a pickup truck,
Yes,
those
pickup
lifted
trucks.
really, really high.
Yeah.
Because we had an SUV,
Yeah.
a big SUV, but this was really, really high. So we saw there was some drivers tried to stop him, but we couldn't pay any mind to it because we were focused on the kids were crying. The kids were really crying because of the movement. My wife was screaming. It was just crazy. And I remember he actually got stopped because we could talk to him, and and he was like, "Oh, I'm sorry," and I was shouting at him "Hey, we have kids in the car," and I was like, "I'm sorry." But then, like I said, I had to focus on my family, their well-being, what was going on.
Yeah.
So, we told the kids not to cry,
You calm them down.
calm them down for about 5-10 minutes.
Yeah.
you know, I believe we prayed.
Yeah,
we did pray before.
We prayed and then we proceeded.
And then we proceeded.
And then as we were driving now, that's when it all came to me that, you know, it's what Lois had dreamt about. And it almost came to pass, but it didn't.
Amen.
Yeah,
Thank
so
God.
Because in the dream, it was a semi-truck.
it was
Yes.
a semi-truck. And
that had
Nathan,
gone over Nathan.
yeah,
Yes.
and Nathan was on the,
the
side
side,
where
on
the
the
truck
side where the
was.
truck
Pushing
was.
you guys.
Yes,
Yes.
yes. So we're like, whoa. And then now I remember the incident in the house
Yeah, with
of
your
the
daughter.
pool.
Yeah,
Yeah,
the
the
pool.
pool.
Yeah.
But that it just shows you how we have such a loving Father who
Absolutely.
shows us what's about to happen so that we can pray.
Yes.
And many times I have found myself ignoring the dreams,
Mhm.
and sometimes when I ignore those dreams and those things come to happen, then I'm left wondering, why did I not listen to God? Why did I not take time to pray? You know.
Yes.
And I remember our mommy told us
Yeah.
that when you dream two things, God is showing you what's about to happen, the enemy, what he's planning to do,
Yes.
for you to stop it, or he's trying to show you what's going to happen, like what he's going to establish in your life
Yeah.
for you to make it happen. You understand? Not
Yes.
to make it happen, but for you to continue praying so that until it manifests, you know.
Yeah.
So I'm glad we all prayed.
Yes.
And if I did not tell you guys about the dream,
Yeah.
that could have happened maybe even till it could have been even my son, you
Yes.
know, or
Yes.
someone else, you know.
Yes.
But I'm so glad that we prayed about it, and it wasn't just me, but you had a dream too, you
Yes.
know. So it was a confirmation, and that's the amazing thing about God too. Like He will confirm with not just one person. He
Yeah.
started with you, then me, you know, and probably there were other signs that God gave you. Maybe you didn't know that was God speaking, but yeah, I'm just.
Yeah.
Your testimony is amazing, and also you did mention that you have another testimony that you wanted to share.
Yes, and actually before that, and actually after all these things, I've learned. I didn't share with you guys. I've learned to, like you say, not ignore dreams, not to ignore what you're feeling or what the Holy Spirit is telling you. If you feel something is wrong, you know, pray about it. Actually, this is gonna be a quick one. So. I believe it was 2 weeks ago. I can't remember really well which day it was. I'm a truck driver, just like my brother, and I had this load that I was delivering on Monday, right? As I delivered it on Monday, I had already pre-booked a Tuesday load, right? It was going to Illinois, and I was picking it up in Kentucky. So I was picking up in Tennessee. I was dropping in Kentucky, picking up in Tennessee, very close. I was like right there at the border. So I delivered the load. But in the morning as I was driving, man, my heart, I was just like, I don't want to do this load. I really don't want to do this load. You know,
Driving to go pick up the other load.
going now to deliver the Kentucky load now. I was like, I'm really not feeling it. I just kept fighting and fighting. I'm like, nah, it's okay. You know, it's nice. You can just do it, and then it will make sense once you get Illinois. It will all make sense. You know how it works with rates and stuff. So I got there, delivered the load. As I was delivering right there, I was just like, no, something's telling me, Samu, don't do this load. Just. I even got in the looking for other loads. I could see them, and I'm like, yeah, this can do. I even called my wife. Remember?
Yes.
I called my wife. I was like, babe, I don't want to do this load. She's like, yeah, if you don't want to do it. I was like, yeah, just don't do it.
Yeah.
Don't do it. It's okay. But if you want to do the other one, it's still okay. But if you don't want to do it, don't do it. So I'm like, okay, yeah, I won't do it. But then again, I go back to, you know what? Let me just do it. So guess what? I ended up doing it. So I went up, picked up the load nicely, started driving. I just started driving. So I got to Kentucky, right? And I actually took a shortcut, you know. As I was driving and pulling back to the highway, I just saw lights in the back. I was like, what did I do? I was just driving, nothing wrong. Like I wasn't doing anything wrong. He just came and said, hey, I see your truck doesn't have this in Kentucky. You're supposed to have this. Man, got tickets. Tickets. I mean, tickets. I was like,
With a S.
yes.
Yes.
I was like,
Plural.
ticket. I'm like,
No way.
and actually you don't have this. Actually, this doesn't look good. Actually, I was like, oh,
You should have
That's why you
I
were
sh-
feeling
I-
like
I-
you shouldn't.
that's
You
why.
should have listened.
That's why. And it messed up my day. It just messed up my day.
Man.
You know, I was like, man, I told my wife, I will never ignore.
Yes.
When you have that conviction, like it
Yeah.
was so
That's actually Holy
huge.
Spirit.
Yeah.
It was
He's
so
knocking
huge.
you.
Like I
Yeah.
was so uncomfortable.
Right.
But you know what? I was like, no.
Let's
Let me
Let's-
just
let
do
me
it.
just
You should
do
have
this.
at least you should have listened to your wife because she said
When
"Well,
I
if you
told
don't
you,
want to do
yeah,
it
if
then
you
just
don't
don't
wanna
do it.
But she
Yeah.
gave me an option. But if
Yeah.
you want to do the other
Yeah.
one,
Yeah.
it's still okay. But
You-
I'm okay.
You know that reminds me. Let me just also tell just a short story.
Okay.
2000. I remember this was 2013 because this was my worst year ever. I was in school.
Pole.
Worst.
Worst year. Yes.
Yeah.
2013. What? What happened?
No, I just said pole.
That's just-
Oh,
Sorry.
I
Sorry
thought
for
you
that.
Yeah.
Sorry for the worst year.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, thank you. So, I was not paying for my car insurance. Guys, please do not. I was like, why should I? And my coworker kept telling me, Lois, you need to make sure you pay for the car insurance. And I was a student. I didn't have enough money for it. I was
Yeah.
like, okay, should I buy food or should I pay car insurance? I was like, you know what? The car insurance can wait. I'll just buy food. Anyways, so this one night, I wanted to go get ice cream. I really, really wanted to get ice cream, but I felt like I shouldn't go. And I could feel like I think it's the same thing you felt.
Okay.
I felt like I shouldn't go and buy ice cream. But you know, I was like, I'll just run real quick, get ice cream, then come back home. Do you know, I went, I came back fine. By the time I got to our apartment complex, the gate, I saw a car behind me. So what I did, I tried to park real quick because they cannot stop you when you've already parked. Guess what? As soon as he saw me ready to park, he stopped me, the lights. I came out with 4 tickets. Because first of all, I had a North Carolina ticket, driver's license. I had not changed to Georgia. Second of all, I had an expired. Sorry, no, I did not have an expired tag. I had no insurance. And when you don't have insurance, after a while, they cancel your registration. So my registration was also canceled. I got 3. Sorry, not 4. I got 3 tickets. I had to pay more than $2,000, and they put me on probation. I could not leave Georgia without notifying the authority that I'm going anywhere. That one night, I should have listened.
Yeah.
True.
Yeah,
True,
but
man.
it was also my mistake because I chose to eat than pay insurance.
You were someone was chasing after money. You were chasing after food. You know what's crazy, honey?
Yeah.
You say 2013 was your worst year.
Yeah.
I remember you also told me that year you met me was also your best year. Isn't that such a coincidence?
Yes. Yes. But I did not meet you 2013, honey.
Yeah, that's what I'm
We
saying.
met
Like 2013 was your worst, but
2015.
27. Yeah. No, the
Yeah.
year we got married was your best year when we got married.
Of course, yeah.
Wow, what a coincidence.
Wow.
Yeah.
So man,
Yeah,
I
Samu,
mean,
now you were telling us
Uh-huh.
there's another testimony.
oh
You
yes,
guys
oh
have
yes, oh
another
yes, oh
testimony.
yes. Yeah. So this one is like all of you have had. We have 3 beautiful kids. We have 2 boys and 1 girl. But before they came, let's take you back. So me and my wife actually met in high school in Kenya. Just a quick recap. I was doing ministry, music for Jesus. And this day,
Please tell them your team. What's the name of your team?
Gospel Fathers.
Yes.
Big
Big,
group,
yeah.
big names.
Yes. Yeah.
Sina madeni.
Nakwambia mimi. And we actually came together with another group called Joksi, and we were zaidi ya mziki. So yes. So we did actually one of the songs which was really good and big for us was called Fundi wa Mbao. It was really good. Nimependwa na fundi wa mbao, je wewe umependwa. Nimependwa na fundi wa mbao, je wewe umesame. We shida mingi mimi niliona. Nice. Wacha. Kata mziki. DJ. Yeah. So before even zaidi ya mziki, so we were Gospel Fathers. And we used to do ministries a lot in high schools and, just schools. So I just had finished high school, I believe, when we started our ministry. But we started singing a long time ago. But we made it in the big leagues after high school. So we went to this school, Moi Girls. She was there. So we got, on the pulpit and we started doing our music, ministering to, students. But as I was on stage, my eyes caught someone. Actually, it was a girls' school, so girls' high school. All these girls, I'm not even there. Like I'm not even interested. Siko hapo. But somehow my eyes caught my wife.
Mchungaji alikula kondoo.
Nimewashwa kusema hiyo.
Alikuwa anangoja hiyo sana. Kondoo wa Bwana. No, listen guys. Do not judge me. Do not judge me. So you see, I remember one of our prophets, mom. She said, God gives you talents, and sometimes these talents they bring you to kings, in front of kings. For me, my queen in this instant. So shukran, man. It's Jesus. It's Jesus. So so I saw her, and after that it turned out to be weird because I started singing really so she could see me, but I was still singing for Jesus. And so after that, I just started talking to her. Oh, here's the thing. Usually when these things end, like when you're in high school, they send the students away. So we just remain with like the people who handle the musicians, like the treasurer, the CU officials, right?
CU stands for Christian Union.
Oh, stands for Christian Union.
Yes.
Thank you very much, young man.
You're welcome, or young man as well.
You almost said
You said older. Anyway, I have 3 kids. It's fine. So coincidence is, or how God put it is, when they sent the students away, she was actually a treasurer in the CU Christian secretary.
Yes.
Yes.
So
Titles, it's all the same. But she was working in the
stayed
Christian
behind.
Union, so she
Yes.
stayed behind. And I was able to come and talk to her. And yes, she is. We've
Yeah.
talked
Hey,
for how many years?
that's a
So
lot.
many
Long
years.
time.
Yeah, long times. Yes, so hey guys, if you're there and God tells you to go to this place, you don't know, man.
In other words, you're saying
Uh-huh.
be in ministry, because in ministry you find blessings.
Absolutely, man.
You'll find
Yes.
the queen.
Absolutely, you'll
or
find
king.
or your
Your
king.
queen or
You
king.
never know, man.
Yeah.
It's a blessing, man. I've known her for so many years. So yeah, I was just giving you the background of how we met and stuff. So we've been married now for almost 9 years.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you,
Marriage
thank you.
works.
Marriage works,
it
man.
does work.
Marriage works.
Yeah.
And don't let nobody tell you that marriage is tough. We make it tough. We make it tough. It's not tough. It's just misunderstood. That's all. So we met and actually we came to the States the same time. and we started talking and talking and talking for years, and finally we got married. So we started, you know, after you get married, you plan your future, and then we started talking about having kids, and we were just, the joy of marriage and having kids, we were so excited, you know. We're like, how many kids do you want? She'd be like, I want 3. I was like, babe, let's have 5. I'd be like, 5 is too much. It was just fun. And so we got to that point where we wanted to have kids. And so we tried for a while. Before that, babe, do you remember what I told you about the group and having kids? What did I tell you? Because we have our group. We have my brother here. My sister is here. We have our friends. We have this group here in the States. And
Yeah, you told me that you wanted us to be like the first people to have kids
Yes.
in that group.
In the group.
Yeah.
We really wanted to be the first guys to have kids. Like, I really wanted. Already one of our friends, you've seen Jay,
Yeah.
already 2 kids by then, right?
One
Two,
kid.
one kid?
He had 1 kid.
Yeah.
So, but there was still this group that had no kids. So that was like, I really wanted it to be that way. So we started trying and trying and trying. And it got to a point where we were like, it got to like a long time. We decided to see, we go to the hospital and get checked. How did we come to that?
No, we just tried for a while, and then I just decided to go to the doctors and see what was going on. And so when we went the first time, they just asked many questions and, you know, giving them answers, and they diagnosed me with a PCOS.
What's that?
What's PCOS?
It's Polycystic ovarian
Ovary syndrome. Yeah.
where it's a disorder with the hormones of women, so that actually kind of messes up with the hormones, and, you know, irregular periods and all that, and even also ovulation is usually not really guaranteed, or, you know, it's not every month that you'll get an ovulation, so that kind of messes up the reproductive system. So that's what I was diagnosed with.
Okay.
So we started
So you called me, remember you called me from the hospital?
yeah, I called you and I kind of explained, but then I told you everything after I got home. And the doctor advised me to take medication and see if that would help. But when I started taking the medication, it messed me up. I started feeling nausea, and so I just said, you know, I'll take it for a while and try. We still kept trying, but nothing happened. So it reached a point that I went back to the doctor, and they were like, well, we've tried everything that we can, so we'll just give you a few, maybe more weeks and see. And if nothing happens, we'll transfer you to a
fertility doctor.
A fertility doctor.
Basically, the way it sounded, he gave up on us.
Yeah,
It's
he
just
gave
like,
up.
It's not working the way he said it. It
Yeah.
was just like,
And the medication was not working with me. I couldn't go on with it. So,
yeah.
you know, we just started, you know, praying and just, you know, letting God lead.
And before that, before even anyone says something, I want to say something here. Is, like I said before, in the group, I really wanted to be the first to, you know, have a kid. And this one night, or this day, my brother here and the wife came home, and they were sitting there, and they surprised us with
Gift bag.
gift bags, right? There were little cute dolls,
Yeah.
and
Baby clothes.
maybe one day they can show in this video, maybe they can show you guys the clip, because I would love for people to see our reaction, because how we reacted. So, you know, maybe the previous or 2 nights before you guys came, we really talked about how we were struggling and we were so low. And then here comes the Kiris, and they gave us these cute dolls, and we're about to be.
They were written auntie
They were written auntie and uncle.
Yes.
Man, I didn't get it. At first I didn't get it. But my wife is like an FBI. She got it real quick. And she's like, I'm like, what's oh, they're pregnant. Guess who was pregnant? They were pregnant with their first child.
Yes.
And
Can I actually say something? You got so excited, but then Irene started crying, and I was like, Kai, she's so happy to the point that she's crying because we are pregnant?
Yes.
And then later on, that's when she told us.
But explain, you were happy for them. You were crying tears of joy.
Yeah.
But
They
at
were
the same
mixed.
time, they were mixed.
It was a mixture.
It was a mixture. You know, she
Yeah.
was crying. Like, can you explain it? I don't want to explain
Yeah,
how you were feeling.
It was really like God had shown them, you know, like not really grace, but had gone before us, you know. So I was like, oh my God, they're going to be parents before we are, and we had started like a long time
7 months ago.
7 months ago.
No, it was just a long time.
Yeah, a long time to trying to get a baby, and then here they are pregnant. But we were so happy for them. But at the back of my mind, I'm like, I might never be pregnant, because we had been told, you know, you guys go and try on your own or go to a fertility doctor. So that really kind of messed me up, but you know, I didn't want to show it because no one knew at the moment that we were trying, and we were.
Yeah, but this you told us like way later after you've already gotten pregnant and you had your son.
Yeah. Because and for me that day, I was happy, but it hit me like the second you said you're pregnant. It hit me like what we are going through. Like it was just emotions of like, oh, you're pregnant, but we've been trying. And then you guys said the way you tried, it was like we decided and we're pregnant.
Yeah.
You know, we just decided. Maybe like, how long did you guys, was it 2 weeks? In 2 weeks you just decided?
That same day.
Yes, they say that, and that
They said
broke
the same day.
us.
The same day.
That broke us.
That broke us,
wow.
man. We
We've
were
been
like,
trying for a
we've
long
been trying
time,
for a long
and
time.
here comes them. Just one day.
We're like,
that's it.
we're like, God. So we had so much fun that day. We were so happy for you guys. We're so proud. But that night, I remember we were in tears. We were like, God, what's happening? Why have we been trying for so long? Now, I don't know if I shared this with you. I think I shared with you guys this. So after that, like such a hard night, and we kept on trying. So when the doctor said we had to see a fertility doctor, we know it's expensive, you know, just from hearing from people. Is it called the IVF? Very expensive. So for me as a man, the leader of the house, I'm just thinking, okay, we need the money, you know. Now the focus has shifted. I feel like when you guys told us, it just brought like crazy fear to me that I kind of stopped depending on God. I was thinking of how I can get money to pay for IVF. So we had a track payment that we were paying. And I told my wife, this is what we're going to do. I'm going to do my best. We pay off our track, then so we can have the money for IVF. So that's, you remember?
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, let me work hard.
Wow.
So I took the strength, yangu, my own strength. It got to a point.
To make it happen.
It got to a point. God was there, but I put him on the back. You know, I'm like, let me do this. Like, we need IVF. I got this.
This is the only way.
And so I started doing that. But then my wife went to church.
Yeah, but before that, let me take you back.
Okay.
I don't know the church. I know the church came after they told us they were pregnant. But that night, I remember you told it was a tough night, you know, crying and everything, but you told me not to check again not to, take the pregnancy test or anything, just to let it go and let it happen when it will happen. So
Because why did I tell you that? Tell the audience.
I don't
You're
remember.
testing every day.
No, she was testing like
Every month. Oh
Eh,
yes, like
All the time.
yeah.
all the time.
And mind you, my periods were like irregular, so
Yeah.
I wouldn't know when to PIMA or not. So that's when he told me not to do it, and I said, okay, I won't do it. So going to the church stuff. So I was going to church Bible study. I used to go to Bible study every Wednesday. And so this Wednesday happened that the pastor preached and everything, and then afterwards he spoke in tongues and then interpreted the tongues. And he said that there's a couple here who are believing God for something, and I want you to know that it's going to happen very soon. And I've had pastors, speak the word and interpret, but this hit me differently. I knew that he was talking to us like directly. I even went back home and watched it and filmed it, and then I sent it to my husband because I knew that was our word.
It was your word.
It was our word. And I think that night or some nights later, I told God, I will not check again. I will not check if I'm pregnant or anything. I just want you to give me a hint. And I want you to give me a dream that I am pregnant. And months, not even months, I think like 3 weeks later or a month later, we were pregnant. And the way I found out was through a dream.
Wow.
Yeah. He told me that we were pregnant. We were checking actually the pregnancy in your house. Yes.
Oh, really?
Me, you, and Laura, our sister.
Wow.
Yep.
I think
Look at God.
Yeah, I
Yes.
know.
And actually, I remember you guys were there. You can't even remember. Well, you can remember when before we knew. I feel like my wife just got to the end, but before we got there, like, so after the word, she called me and she told me everything because I was at work, and man, I was so happy, and we prayed about it. She told me this is ours, and I was like, yeah, we believe together.
Yes.
We
I
believe
called you.
together.
Right.
So there was a wedding for whose wedding was Carrie's, our sister. Yeah, so the one in Tennessee. We went with you guys, remember? So before we went, my wife kept on using the bathroom. She kept on stopping us to use the bathroom.
I remember.
Yeah.
I remember stopping at a McDonald's at some point.
Yeah.
And
She kept on going using the. We didn't even think about it.
That time, did you guys know that you were pregnant?
No,
we didn't.
we didn't know.
Wow.
But that's when she was pregnant. She kept on stopping. She wants to,
Yeah.
But when we went back home, you just said, "Hey, babe, no, you did it by your own."
Yeah, after the dream, I checked.
You
She
tested.
checked.
Yeah, I tested.
Yeah.
So.
And maybe one day she can share the clip, just the clip of how we found it. It's a very
One day.
emotional. One day, it's a very
Yeah.
emotional clip.
Oh my gosh. Is this true? Is this true? Oh my gosh. Is this true? Oh my gosh.
And I remember when she knew she was pregnant, I knew we were pregnant. She called me. I was at work and she called me. Most of these incidences, I'm at work, man.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I was about to say.
Yeah. I
You're a
need to.
hardworking man.
Thank you, sir. So she called me and she was like, "Hey, babe, I just want to say I love you so much." I was like, mm-hmm.
What's next?
What's going
How
on?
much do you need?
What is needed?
What do you need?
Babe, you were amazing, and you were FaceTiming.
Yeah.
And she's like, she had just come from your house.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, right?
I don't remember.
Yeah, she just came from visiting you guys. And she was so happy. She's like, babe, oh, you're the best. Wow, I love you. I'm like, okay, something's going on. I knew what it was, but I didn't want to
Ask.
ask
Really?
or confirm. Because I'm afraid.
You're afraid it might
I'm
not
afraid
be
it might
what you
not be
think
that,
it
and it
is.
might trigger
Okay.
something.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I got home that weekend. I remember I was in the computer, and my wife she actually went upstairs. I didn't even pay any mind to it. Like I was just watching. I think it was one of those sports, and she called me upstairs. Hey, babe, come over. Then I got there. I'm just gonna tell you the first. What she did, she had a box, right, and she had it on the bed, right? But before that, she had a letter, and she told me to read it. And
Allowed.
yeah, and I was like, I love you. And then it read, "We love you so much." I was like, God, please, let us be pregnant. We are pregnant. That's how you say it. I was like, let us be pregnant. I still didn't want to say it because I'm afraid. I'm still afraid, like, what if not?
Yeah.
Dude, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, but I was like, so she told me to open this box. I opened, and I found now the pregnancy.
Test.
With the twins.
Man, it was amazing. It was just amazing. And God has been good. Like we said, God has been good.
And now
3
3 kids
kids.
later.
Yeah.
Second one, just like Jimmy.
Just like
and,
butter.
and just like the Kiris,
One and
that
done.
same day.
One and done.
Same day.
One and
The
done.
third one even came
Yeah.
earlier. We're like, oh Lord, please wait now.
That's enough.
That's enough.
That is such a powerful testimony and I think it relates to a lot of people because a lot of people want kids and sometimes a lot of them something happens and you even take the IVF route and you have to go through the whole process.
Yeah.
But I'm just so thankful that God was able to bless you guys with children when you wanted them.
Yes.
That is just such a big blessing, and these are things you never really think about until you're in that moment in time when you want kids.
Yes.
And then they're not, you're not getting pregnant.
Yeah.
So man, that is such a wonderful testimony. Thank you so
Yeah.
much for sharing.
Thank you for sharing
you.
that.
Yeah.
And also, for me, I would say, how sometimes we think things come automatically.
Yeah.
Like when you get to that stage or to that point, you're going to get this. But I think also listening your story and also what we have gone through, I've learned that everything we have is a blessing.
Yeah.
So we always plan, from the time you started by saying how when you got married, you were planning, we will have 3 kids, 5
Yeah.
kids. We were just discussing how many kids you will have.
Yeah.
But then when you get there, you're trying to have the kids and they're not coming.
Yeah.
Then that's when you realize, this is not just, it's not something I plan.
Right.
Yeah.
This is God's gift.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And I remember, actually forgot to say, we were like, I want a girl, I want a boy. We were like, we want a girl first.
Yeah.
And then it got to a point where like, God, just give us a child.
Whatever.
A healthy child from you,
Yeah.
God. Just give us a child.
Yeah.
Just give us a child. And God has been so good that our firstborn was a boy, the second one was a girl.
Yeah.
We're
That's
just
perfect.
so
Perfect
happy,
balance. Yeah.
And we were like, we're not gonna set limits to God. Let's have another one,
Yeah.
just to say thank you.
Yeah.
Yes, and another one to say thank you. Another one and another
And
one.
another one.
Yes. So
More coming.
It's-
Thank you so much, guys.
Well, thank you
Yes,
so
yes,
much,
yes,
Benjugunas.
yes, yes.
Thank you for sharing your testimonies. They're so powerful.
Thank you. And sorry to cut you off. And before you finish off,
Yeah.
one thing I've learned, I would advise people, just something that I learned is never to ask just people or couple that has started, like, you never go like, hey, are you guys working on pregnancy? Are you guys pregnant? Are you working? Because you don't know what people are going through.
Yeah.
You really don't know.
Or the famous one, why why are you guys taking so long?
Yeah, why are you guys
Yeah.
When are you
taking
gonna
so
have
long?
kids?
Yeah.
When are you gonna have kids?
Why you not married?
Yeah, why you hey man, you don't know what people are going through.
Yeah.
You don't know. I remember there's someone who asked us, I can't remember, they were like, man, when are you getting pregnant? And we were like, oof.
If only they
It
knew.
goes deep, it cuts
Yes,
deep, you
yeah.
know, because you don't know what people are going through. So just something, you know. But man, just remember to put your trust in God. Anyone out there, you know, just put your trust in God. You know, everything, He'll take care of everything, man. You know, all the ideas you have, even financially, like if you want to do a business, the idea that you get, just say, God, I pray that this is from you. I pray that whatever I speak, whatever I do in this thing, let it be from you, because then nothing will go against you, you know. Yeah, man.
You know, the last thing I want to mention, sorry, and I'll let you speak. You mentioned how it got to a point where you told your wife, let me pay off the truck, and then I'll get the money, we do the IVF.
Yes.
I've learned that God will not allow you to attain your own glory, because if you did that, you would have been here telling us, I
True,
had
true, by the way,
to
that's
put the
true.
money, for me to go ahead and
That's
do
true,
the
that's true.
because at the end of the day, it's what you did, it's not what God
What
did.
did?
Yes.
But
Yes.
God did not allow that to happen. Now you're here giving a testimony because this was not, it was out of my control.
Yes.
That was God who did that for you.
Yes, that's so true. That's
Yeah.
so true. That's so true.
Sorry, Irene, there was something you wanted to say.
Yeah, there's two things. I just want to say that if you're diagnosed with PCOS, it's not the end of the world, and that is not the end of your birth story. You know, God is going to bless your womb with a baby one
Yes.
day in
Amen.
His own time. So just keep praying, be faithful, and also believe that it will come when it comes. And then also, just wanted to say that don't ignore the dreams that you have, small or big. Pray about it. Even if God uses you as a dreamer or not, pay attention to all the dreams you have and pray about them. It won't take you anything. Like it won't take a lot to pray about the dreams you have. Write them down if you can, or record them if you can, and always remember to pray about the dreams you have.
Yes. And to finish off, one more thing is just to thank you, Lois, for God for using you, you and your family for the dreams that you always have. If it weren't for you, like you said, God using you, we don't know how it could have gone, or even your child. So we thank God for you. Keep praying. Keep always telling your dreams, and man, we thank you, man. Thank you for what you guys are doing. We're proud of you guys.
Yes.
My small brother, man. My handsome small brother.
It's Jesus.
Yes,
I told you
yes.
I'm not
Yeah.
the firstborn.
Yes.
I was. I had to be.
Oh, yeah.
And we give God the glory. All the glory
Absolutely.
goes back to the Lord. Not
Absolutely.
our doing, but God's glory.
Absolutely.
But
Thank you.
again, thank you so much, Njugunas, for being here.
Thank you for
Oh,
having
yes.
us.
Thank you for having us,
Yes,
man.
yes.
It's been a
We've
long
been planning
time
this for a
coming.
very long time,
Yeah.
but
Yes.
finally we were able to
Yes.
do it.
Yes.
Tutawaita
Tutarudi.
tena.
Tutarudi. It's the kids.
Yeah.
They keep us busy. Yes.
The ones you prayed for.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
I hope everybody enjoyed this episode. Until next time, peace out. Luku ni safi.
Luku ni
Luku ni
moto.
moto.
Kama mama wa kama.